So Bill S4, the Digital Privacy Act, and basically made a number of amendments to the Personal Information Protection and Electronic Documents Act, or PIPEDA, but we're going to be focusing on Section 7, the one that I have the biggest problem with.
So this section basically states that it's okay for companies to disclose personal information about an individual without their consent or knowledge. Now, I have a problem with this for a few reasons. You may think that this is pretty far-fetched, like this would never affect me. Oh, that's ridiculous. Companies wouldn't just give each other information. But it does. Surprise! It's kind of a problem. Let me introduce you to our consumer that we're going to use today. Her name is Connie, and she needs a cell phone. So she went to Bell.
Hey, I'm Connie Summers. Hey, I'm Belle. If you want to use my services, I need your personal information. Yeah, sure. Thanks. I love Belle.
When consumers give their information to a company, they assume that that's going to stay confidential within that company, not that it's going to be shared with other organizations.
Hey, I'm Rogers. I want to buy your company. Can I have some customer information?
Sure.
Thanks.
Hey, Belle, what's the deal with that?
And she's right. This completely contradicts the 10 principles of fair information practices set out in PIPEDA. One of them's main focus is consent, and it doesn't exactly seem fair to allow the disclosure of this information without receiving consent from the individual. Hey, wait a second. What actually is consent? Oh, I'll explain it to you. 1 second.
And we back. 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 And we and we back. And we.
So consent can be broken into two different parts. It can be either explicit or implied. Explicit consent counts as something that was said orally, it can be written in writing, or it can be a specific action such as clicking agree on the terms of agreement, like you see often. Implied is basically if there's reasonable to infer from actions of an individual that that's what they want to happen.
So, why is consent important? Well, as outlined in PIPEDA, companies are required to obtain consent from any of their customers, users, etc., to use their personal information. So they are responsible to specify exactly what information they're requesting and provide a meaningful purpose for the use or disclosure of this personal information. Consent is also only considered valid if it's reasonable to expect that the people whom the organization's activities are directed at would understand the nature, purpose, and consequences of the collection, use, or disclosure of the information that they're consenting. So this means that if you scroll through all the way down to the bottom of the iTunes Terms of Agreement and just click agree without reading it at all, yes, technically you did click agree and that is consent. But since you have no idea what's actually in the terms of agreement, it's not informed consent. This is a huge problem because lots of people do exactly that, and people don't really understand what they're consenting to in terms of the use of their information online. Similarly, it's completely ridiculous to assume that the general public understands that if they give their personal information to one company, it can be disclosed to any other company in a possible business transaction. So there are a few things we can do to solve this problem. One of the simplest options to solving this problem would be making sure that people who are disclosing their personal information are aware of exactly how it could be used. This would include making the terms of agreement way more clear and asking companies to inform their customers more about what can be done. So let's take a look and see how that might work out.
Hey, I'm Connie Summers. Hey, I'm Belle. If you want to use my services, I'll need your personal information. And I might give it to Rogers over there. That doesn't sound right. Well, you can't use my services.
Yikes, are you serious? Well, what else are we supposed to do? Well, what if we have companies explain exactly why they would have to disclose information to other companies, and then give customers the option to say, no, actually you can't do that, but have it as a separate clause from all the other things. Let's take a look.
Action. Hi, I'm Connie Summers. Hi, I'm Belle. If you want to use my services, I'll need your personal information. And by the way, I might give it to Rogers over there. Do you mind if you don't share it with Rogers? Sure, that sounds reasonable. I love Belle.
Hi, I'm Rogers. I'm thinking of buying out your company. Is it okay if I use some of your customer information?
Sure, but you can't use this customer information because this customer doesn't want you to.
Okay.
Hi, Mr. Batidas. Make sure you give Naomi a 5+ for such a good assignment that she filmed on the side of the soccer field.
And we back, and we back. Yeah.